Welcome, guys. TPC Toronto. What you're seeing, obviously, construction zone. It's going to be quite the destination in the next couple of years with all the stuff going on. 2 new golf courses across the street. All these clubhouses going up. So welcome today. I'm sure some of you guys haven't hit balls for 4 hours before, so it's quite the long day. But that's why there's a chair there. So have a seat, sit down, take a break, check your phone, do what you got to do. But the reason I do this is because I find the 1 hour golf lesson doesn't really work as well. You know, trying to get through all kinds of different things in an hour just isn't enough time, especially when you need time to kind of work through some of those ideas. So I'm going to come by, we're going to have a chat about your game, find out, what's going on, what do you want to fix, and I'll give you some stuff to think about. The first time I come by, it's going to be really big. I'm going to give you some big concepts and some big ideas, but the next time I come back after you've had a chance to practice, hopefully that gets a little bit easier for you. And I'm going to continue doing that kind of rotation. I'll come back and see what's going on, and I do this thing called layering, where we tackle the hardest things first and we get a little bit easier as the day goes on. And hopefully by the end of the session, you've got 2 or 3 words to make the whole thing work. Those 2 or 3 words are in kind of a rhythm or a beat or a song to your swing, so to say. And you can go to the driving range and practice some pretty simple things. I would say that in the next hour and a half, I do want you to get to your driver. I'd like to get to the driver sooner than later. I find that most times in a golf lesson, if you want to fix your driver, you do it at the end when you're tired. We're not going to do that here. I want to get right to it. And then hour 3 is going to be wedges. So whatever it is that we've done for the first 2 hours, we're going to tackle it with your wedges to kind of slow the speed down, give you a chance to be a little more, dramatic with it or emphasize it a little more. And then the last hour is when I'm going to come by and just reconfirm things. There won't be anything new in the last hour. It'll just be kind of making sure that we've got the right things in the right order so that, you have a chance to go practice and get this better. So we've got lots of golf balls. We've got drinks. Like I said, you got a chair. So let's get to it. Perfect. Let's start with that. Okay. Okay. So, taken lessons before? Okay. Do you have any swing thoughts, things you're trying to do right now?
More consistent.
Okay. But what are you trying to do to the golf club? Here's my thing with consistency. So far, everybody today has said they wanted to get more consistent. Yeah. And everybody in every school says I want more consistency. But golf's not consistent. We're at a different day, a different golf course. You're a different person than yesterday, right? You play in different conditions. It's about trying to adapt to the inconsistencies of golf. So when we're looking at trying to be, quote unquote, more consistent, it's just about being better, right? You need to be a better golfer to be able to adapt to things. So, a swing thought can't be just be more consistent. It has to be well, what are we trying to do to our body? What are we trying to make our body do? What are we trying to make the club do? So do you have any swing thoughts? Are you trying to do anything with you to make the club hit the ball better and as a result become more consistent?
Trying not to, I had a tendency, the last time I was playing a month ago, to just consistently slicing, all the time.
Yeah.
So trying to bring.
So you are consistent. Think about that.
Yeah.
You always slice it. That is consistent.
Yeah. But then trying to more bring it so my hands are, the club face is actually hitting like this as opposed to that.
Yeah. Okay. So the club face was open.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yeah.
Consistent. So we just need to be better.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So jump into your spot. Let's kind of talk about your swing here. Okay, pretty good. Really good. How often do you see the ball curve right, or curve left, sorry?
Never.
Okay, all right. Okay. Setup. Actually, I wouldn't really change anything. As you're taking the club back here, I think you do a pretty good job getting this club to the top of your swing. I think that once this gets up here, the reason we get our slices or our cuts is that you're really bringing your arms down to hit the golf ball rather than turning your body to hit the golf ball. So, you know, if you got to here and kind of left your arms and club where it was and started turning your body back to the ball, that the arms wouldn't be, let's call it, take off so early. And what I mean by that is, like, right here, you've got your hands really close to your right shoulder.
Yeah.
And as you swing down here, boom, they're pulling away from your shoulder. So if your arms are pulling away from your shoulder, it means your shoulder's not moving. Right?
Okay.
Your shoulder's like stuck there. So your pivot or your torso isn't turning toward the target. It's your arms trying to get back down to the ball. And so when you start turning through, like, I would say that we want to get your body alignment with your lower body. Like, that has to be the look when the golf club is, you know, down there.
Okay.
Right? So we want to try and activate your body turn before your arm swing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We want to try and feel as though almost that before this has done its move this way,
Yeah.
that we're already starting to turn toward the target. Right? So it's like the end of the backswing isn't the same place for everything on our body. So it can't go like, okay, I'm here, and now we start, because you're going to start by trying to get the club down, and now the body's behind in the race. So it's almost like, you know, if I had a ribbon, you know, the gymnast with the ribbon, if I pull the handle in a different direction, then at some point the ribbon's going to catch up to the handle. Very similar to here, where if I turn my body this way, and I consider my body being the handle of the ribbon, right, if I keep turning my body toward the target, it moves this out of the top of swing. So we want to feel as though today that, you know, before your arms are done their motion that way, that you're already turning your body that way. And it's like, in terms of timing, and I call timing like the difference between two of your parts. Okay, so we'll talk about this being one part and that being another part. I want to try and feel like the front of my chest or the front of my legs, something in the front of my body, looks at the target before the club gets to the ball. Okay, so we're going to look at it as though that once this starts going back, I'm going to start turning so that I'm facing the target when the club's down here. When it comes to like impact, here's our setup, okay, but there's impact. So like setup has the front of my body with the club down here like that, but if I just put the club where impact would be, it's over there, right? And as I turn my body to the target, that's where I hit the golf ball. I hit it kind of off my side. So trying to feel that we can get the inside of you turning before that gets back to the golf ball, that's kind of going to be our motion. And so my front of my body's facing the target, then the club faces the target. Okay, that's our sequence. So it's going to go here, turn the body early, and then the club comes through. And it almost, I mean, it's going to feel that everything just keeps moving to get there, right? So there's a flow to the whole thing, but trying to make sure that we can get the front of your body facing the target earlier is going to bring the club through from the side of you to in front of you. But if we go from here and the arm starts to pull the club down and it gets in front of you too early, that's when the club face stays open. That's when the arms start to cut across the body. So open club face, path coming across the ball, it's going to curl off to the right all day. So with the ball on a super low tee, I just want it to feel like you keep moving today. That arms go up, and before they're done their job, you turn your body to the target. And your arms and club will get there last. But I would say that 9 out of 10 golfers that lose their balance, right, swing to the top of their swing, and then they swing their arms across their body, which makes them lose their balance because this outraced the body.
Yeah.
It's like shooting a bazooka from a skateboard. Too much energy up here, not enough motion or stability down there. Okay, so we can kind of get this to a rhythm or a beat, right? A beat of your swing where you feel like it's back and turn. And the last thing to get to the ball is the club head, not the first thing. Make sense? Okay, so I'm gonna get some tees.
I had Wi-Fi for a few minutes and now it's gone. I don't know how that's happening.
Yeah, just finicky. Good, good. So let's kind of map this out a little bit. Take it up to the top of your swing for me. And this is the only time I'm going to ask you to hold it still. Just hold it up there. Okay, all right. Now start turning your body to the target. Keep turning, keep turning. Okay, there's impact. So you've turned and the club's down here, like off your right side. Okay, so one more thing, set up to it. Okay, so can we get this one on the rubber, not on the leather? Yeah, that one can go wherever it wants. Yeah, okay, cool. And then I want you to be able to turn this hand inward more so that you see more of that FootJoy logo when you look down. So if we can get this hand on stronger, the action of the wrists here is a chopping motion. So if you were to lift up and chop down, we have to have your hands on there in a way that allow you to chop. But if it's too rolled underneath, it kind of keeps the face too open. Okay, I like that.
More like
Yep, good. I like it. So one of the signs that the arms outrace the body is when the arms finish up here in front of you, right? So in order for them to get up there, you had to push them toward the target and then lift them up again. And so the roll of the arms really is a downward motion, and it stays down behind our turn. So the more we can get a finish position that's a little bit lower or shorter, that's a sign that the arms and club trailed your turn. But if my arms pass my turn, that's when I finish up here like this. So I want it to try and feel as though that when you're keeping that club to the right of you, on this side of you, as you turn, see how low my club stays? If I do it faster and I stand up harder, right? If I make the whole motion faster and I stand up harder, yeah, the club might come up here like this, but not my hands. Right? So the roll of my hands in the swing goes up and down, not forward and not up again. So keeping that to the right, keeping the finish shorter, is definitely a sign that you've kept it back so it can deliver the right way. So it's a shorter arm swing than I think you're used to, or that I think you're trying to make.
Yeah.
Not bad. Good.
Rotating more there?
A little, yep. Let's get the glove a little more over top. So go through your glove process again, like your grip process. You had the club up like this, right, which is good, like the club vertical. So the idea with this hand is that all the fingers go on the shaft at a 90 degrees, not at an angle, they go on at a 90. So when you get it on at a 90 and the fingers there, yeah, thumb down, thumb on the club, good. Now when it comes down, you've got a lot more curl to that hand or arch to that hand right there. A little more. Yeah. Okay. Hold on. So sometimes with this, I know we're kind of working through some things. There's always a chance that the backswing gets a little bit too short, right? And if our hands don't go back high enough, then the first thing they're going to do is start pulling back down in front of you. So trying to feel as though that you make a backswing where your hands go the highest and the farthest is going to give you better timing, or just more time to leave the club up there as your body goes that way. Yeah. A bunch. So I've got a bunch of different, ways that we can tackle this today.
Yeah.
If we can just we'll start with just, the easiest way to do it, talking about it. But, as we progress with this, trying to get a feel of it, I've got a couple training aids I can use to kind of give you a visual sense of what it is that we're trying to get to. Okay. But the first thing is going to be just understanding what we're trying to do and feeling as though that you can really get the hands higher to give you more time to get your body to face the target. Much better. And I think an overall sense of timing, time to your swing, it's going to be a bigger amount of time to get the club back to the ball. Well done. So talk to me in your words what the things that you're thinking about and working on.
Just like trying to bring this back.
Yeah, farther.
And then twist. We also get baseball swings like quick break.
Okay.
That is supposed to all arm.
Yeah, okay. So like a little more like horizontal to the ground. Okay, I like that. Good job. So, I want to see you hit a couple more, but I definitely have some things that I want you to think about and to do compared to what we talked about.
I've like destroyed all your...
That's fine, no problem. It wouldn't. I mean, if you did it to my shin, you'd break my shin. Well done. Okay, so the only part that I see that's going a little off, and it's going to be a symptom, the problem happened before that, is that when you finish, do this way.
Yeah.
So we don't want the arms to pull themselves back up like that.
Okay.
So at my finish position, my arms are here. I lean back, I turn, and maybe a little speed will help bend my arms a little bit, but like elbows down in the finish. Yeah. Like your elbows stay close to the ground. If they want to bend, no problem. Okay. So I want you to turn through, but keep your arms underneath the shaft. Oh, way to go. Okay, so
that contact felt good too.
yeah, it sounded awesome. So like you can see that when I make this swing, my hands kind of make the letter U. Right? It goes down, across, and then up. Okay? But that's the path that they take, but the speed is here, and then we take a foot off the gas pedal and it glides into there. Right? So this is my expressway. I want the most speed on the Autobahn right here. But as soon as you take the off-ramp, you can't be going 200 anymore. And there's that curving off-ramp. If it's still speeding up around that, that's where the club misses the ball. So that type of idea with your speed is what keeps it low on that side. Okay. Well done. That's different.
Am I getting more of that twist you're talking about?
Totally. Totally. Yeah. Okay, some off the ground now. No tee.
Where in my stance should it be?
Just in front of the middle. Like a ball width in front of the middle of your feet. Awesome. Way to go. Really good. Okay, driver.
No. Good.
Yeah. No. So, if you can't hit your
feels
driver,
better.
it's hard to play golf.
Well, not really. I mean, I'd be fine just 150 and straight.
150 and straight?
On the 7?
Oh yeah, for 7 for sure.
Okay, so what is the 7?
So we're going to tee the ball up closer to your front foot, like right off the big toe on your left foot. And it tees up high, because that thing's like a pumpkin on a stick these days. And the same idea. Everything that we've talked about translates to this. Scary good. So let me give you an idea on the range of like your driver shot, okay?
Yeah.
PGA Tour pros are about 50 yards wide on their driver dispersion. 50 yards wide. So that's pretty significant. You know, that's a big wide range. That's way bigger than that green where the checkered flag is, right?
Yeah.
So anything inside 60 yards is great. So inside 60 would be consistent. If it
that last little advice of not trying to it's just slowing it down on the back.
arm
so you're not,
power. Right. Yep. No, I
I feel
think
like I've been trying to kill it and then that's why I'm twisting and going.
100%. But I want you to try to kill it. I want you to try to hit it as far as you can. I just want you to do it the right way.
Yeah.
And if we equate this whole thing as like parking your car in the garage, you can't wait till the last inch to hit the brakes, right? You'll crash into the wall. So try to feel like it slows down sooner, which lets the club head release, and we have a shoulder finish, and that's what's going to happen. So let's pick a target, pick a tree out there, one of those tall trees, aim at it, and now we can kind of figure out where you hit it relative to where you think you want to hit it.
Down.
Preference, whatever you'd like. Okay, so that one would be like getting a new golf ball out. That's outside of our window. Did you say you already went for a fitting?
No.
Oh, you didn't? Okay.
No, you get some balls.
Good, one more. Beautiful. That is crushed.